Hey everyone, good evening. So my name is Tin. I'm with a company called Zemanta. We've been around since 2007. Almost from our beginning, we've been involved in the WordPress community. We've offered a plugin, which we call the editorial assistant, focused very much on content recommendations for authors when they were creating their content in real time. So we would recommend images, articles, in-text links, and terms that would just help them enrich their blog posts. Over the last year or so, we've also started playing around with some other products. So in addition to the editorial assistant, we started looking at how can we help out publishers and bloggers and folks that create content on the reader side as well. So how can we make great recommendations to readers, similar in a way that Outbrain and Taboola do. We're looking at ways to connect like-minded publishers, which we're doing with Tech Circle, which is a venture capital and technology-focused circle of bloggers, which is headlined by Fred Wilson, which is one of our lead investors. And then finally, we focused on mobile, particularly on how do publishers get more value out of the increasing traffic that they get on their mobile sites with our product Streams. Across the board, we are working with a few 100,000 publishers, small, long tail publishers, up to folks like the Associated Press, VentureBeat, The Blaze, Forbes, and so on. So back to the mobile dilemma. The traffic on mobile is growing. Sites are getting anywhere between 30 to up to 50% of traffic is mobile these days. A lot of folks are not going through the homepage. They're landing on specific article pages. They're coming in from Facebook. They're coming in from Twitter. So anything that you have prepared on your homepage that was more optimized for mobile is almost useless at this point. So, and we also looked at how do we, so the value of mobile traffic is not as important for publishers as it is on desktop. It's far off. So we looked at how do we help the publishers then increase traffic, increase engagement, and in turn get more revenue out of their mobile pages. So we created Streams, which essentially helps with those aspects. We take over the article post or page experience. We provide that initial article that folks have landed on, and then after the visitor has finished digesting the content of that original article, we'll start making recommendations of other content that we think is relevant. It's an infinite stream. It keeps on going until we run out of content for the publisher. We work with the publishers to help them monetize in a couple of ways. We can integrate their current mobile display ad tags. So we can basically say after the main article we can insert an ad tag. Every 2 articles we can insert an ad tag. If they're selling any native advertising, so any promoted content style, we can also insert a feed of that. And then also to help us monetize, because we are providing this as a free service to publishers, we insert our own promoted content that comes from our network. that we then display every X stories in the stream. VentureBeat was one of our initial launch partners. They are on WordPress VIP. So we worked together with their product team. We got some help from the VIP team as well. They, like I mentioned, they sell their own display ads. They also sell some of their own native advertisements. So we worked with them to integrate that, and we also have worked to integrate our own promoted content in there. Integration is fairly simple. So we put a JavaScript code snippet on a mobile page template, and then we also ask for some meta information about the article, very similar to what Twitter cards look like. So we're basically asking about title, description, any keywords, the lead image. The secondary integration aspects are integrating the ad tags, integrating promoted content via feeds, and right now it's JavaScript integration. We're working towards making that a standalone plugin that's available to everyone, as well as white-labeled plugin for networks that can essentially have built-in monetization that essentially then just inserts the ads for the publishers that are within that network. There are two flavors of stream. If a publisher already has a mobile optimized site, we can just make recommendations within their framework. So we don't touch the look and feel of the site, or we can do a full stream, very similar to what we've done on VentureBeat, where we essentially take over the whole process. This has been only running for a couple months, but we've seen some great results. We've increased the display ad inventory by 90%. We've increased page views by 20%, and we are seeing time on site increase by 30%. So definitely see some great value for publishers. And I can take any questions if there are any out there.
How many M's in Dilema?
I was assuming it's 1, but 2. All right. Anyone else? Go ahead.
On the slide before, 2 slides back, you said something about a JavaScript.
Yep.
And what exact, is there like a Zemanta button that what does it would it look like on my blog?
It would look very similar to what we've done with VentureBeat. So if I go a couple of slides back, we would take your logo, we would emulate that, and then we would basically create the article based on your article format. So we would essentially format it in a very similar fashion like that.
So you create a mobile stream
based on your content.
All right, and then how is it distributed?
We basically, it's served to anyone that lands on your mobile article. So if you're on a smartphone, if someone reads a specific article, it will show up in this format.
Oh. So basically what you do is you take somebody's, I'm still not clear.
Sure, so we're basically sitting on your blog or on your...
So you basically create a mobile site from, you take somebody's desktop site and you create a mobile site based
We do.
on it?
I mean, one version of the streams is we will create a mobile optimized site, and we will use your content in the recommendations after the initial article. So we'll basically make recommendations of your other content that's been published before.
The recommendations would be just from my site or across the web? Or?
A majority of the content would be from your site. Some of the content might come from some promoted sources, but there's a way to kind of create a ratio of what the publisher wants. So,
and what is the service cost?
It's free.
Then what's your revenue model?
So we insert enough promoted content between the articles to essentially pay for the service.
Okay. If I wanted to promote it, so you also you have advertisers, or you sell?
Yeah, so we basically sell to advertisers, and also any publisher that wants to have more traffic, I mean, they can buy into that as well. Is there a question?
How can you service from the Jetpack? If you're offering a mobile kind as well, so about the Jetpack.
Not clear.
Jetpack does the same thing.
It's a plugin.
Yep.
How is your service different than Jetpack?
One of the things that we're doing is we're making the recommendations based on relevancy of that original article. That's kind of our go-to algorithm that we're doing. But we can also work with other algorithms, so popularity, recency, set list of articles, but our bread and butter for the last 7 years has been kind of determining what the most relevant related article is that we can recommend based on the content that you've published in the past. Go ahead.
Do you have any metrics for desktop to mobile, time to load?
It's negligible, but I would have to get some more details from it.
Can you beat the 1,000 millisecond?
I would have to check with our tech guys on the specifics. But I mean, VentureBeat is a site that on a monthly basis, we do over 1 million page views, and we're within range for that.
It's not the volume I'm talking about. I'm concerned with regard to, is the basis of your model desktop to mobile optimization? Is that the basis of it, or is it desktop to add your content, do something else, and then mobile optimization? I'm not sure.
It's essentially mobile, whatever the current mobile experience is for a publisher, to enhance that.
So you're using, are you guys?
Our metrics are essentially, we compare to previous mobile experience versus what we do in stream, so we're not really looking at desktop metrics versus...
No, I don't mean desktop metrics versus mobile metrics. No, that's not what I mean. I mean the mobile time to load.
Is...
are you like 1 second, 5 seconds, 10 seconds?
It's way below a second. I mean, it's... if you give me your contact information, I can get you the specifics.
Sure.
So basically your framework, or you have a proprietary framework that's mobile optimized, that would be faster than, let's say, I build a responsive WordPress site, and my information architecture, my design is mobile first. What can you offer that, and as far as relevant content and links, I can do all that, I know.
Okay.
So what can you offer?
In that case, not much. I mean, if you have a mobile optimized team, if you have a responsive team, and you're comfortable with the recommendations that you can do in there, that's really outside of that.
Markets, niche markets?
We focus on publishers, so you know, anything from corporate blogs to publishers, in various verticals.
Finance, fashion?
Across the board. So people that have traffic, more traffic, the better. Cool.
Are you a sponsor of WordPress New York City Meetup?
We've been a long-standing sponsor. We haven't been involved a lot last year, so Steve brought us in for to chat today.
Did you bring any T-shirts?
We ran out of T-shirts. We do not have any T-shirts currently, but if we have any swag, we'll make sure it's available. Cool. Thank you, guys.